At the parish mass yesterday morning, Tuesday morning of the 6th week in ordinary time, there was a moment in the mass which I became very aware of, that the gospel acclamation, which we sing together, would be the last time that we will sing or say the word Alleluia for the next 46 days. And that includes the Sundays. At the start of our season of Lent, we symbolically remove the word Alleluia. It marks a shift from the high praise which the word convokes. It's a song of gladness, don't forget, to the more solemn penitential season which we experience in this Lenten season. We will not hear Alleluia proclaimed again until the Easter Vigil, until we can solemnly sing with great solemnity, "The Lord has truly risen." There is an old tradition in certain parts of the world, I believe dating back to the Middle Ages, where an image of the word Alleluia gets buried in a coffin-like box. It was tradition that the casket would be taken through the church in solemn procession with holy water and with incense, just like at a funeral liturgy. Sometimes the Alleluia then would be taken from the church and taken to the church ground in order to be buried. Other times it would be buried symbolically and placed under the altar. For those who participated, the purpose of burying the Alleluia was to enrich and shape prayer and the sense of discipline as Easter is anticipated through the 40 days of the desert. The moment itself is a fasting. The one thing which this old tradition has shown me is that there is a communal nature to Lent. We can run the risk of thinking about Lent as something purely private which we undertake, that we can forget the significance that we are bound together in an unbreakable bond, that Lent itself has a communal nature. And when we think about it, we can see how this is true. The great pillars of this Lenten season of fasting, prayer, almsgiving, which are drawn out for us in the gospel, are not about us and what we have to offer. It's no accident that our first reading from the book of Joel leaves its mark when it announces to us, "Blow the trumpet in Zion, consecrate a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the people." The church makes the same proclamation. The church calls us together to seek a renewal of the heart. The imposition of ashes, which we will all participate in shortly, become for us then a visible sign of this desire for renewal. Marked with the sign of the cross then is not a private action that we make, but also a public declaration. A public declaration to turn away from our sinful ways, from the struggles and the vices which cripple us and can overwhelm us, and to turn back to God. With the start of this Lenten journey then, the placing aside of the Alleluia in the liturgy, the imposition of ashes on our foreheads, we are acknowledging then in a public way that even from the dust of our brokenness, God brings about renewal. Whatever we've been holding on to, however broken perhaps we may perceive that we are, Let us this Lenten season hand everything trustingly over to him. Let us heed the words of the end of that second reading from St. Paul. Now is the favourable time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Amen.